Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, not son, baby. And this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. You know, in the last episode, I talked about the integration of swinging and BDSM. And BDSM means bondage, discipline, dominance, and submission, and sadomasochism. You know, that makes up the acronym of BDSM. Duh. Anyway, you know, I talked about the integration of swinging and BDSM because you have people who may go back and forth between lifestyles. You feel me? Like the swing lifestyle is very different from the BDSM lifestyle. Like the swing lifestyle, it's about fucking, you know, consensual sex. You feel me? It's about, you know, consensual non-monogamy. That's what swinging is about. You know, you have consent to fuck others. You feel me? You and your mate, y'all have your dynamic, your rules and regulations in order. And then while you respect those rules and boundaries, you're free to fuck whomever you want to get it in with. But in BDSM, it's about the kink, the fetish. It's about the fantasy. You feel me? It's not sexually driven like swinging. And you have a proliferation of people who are migrating from swinging into BDSM. You feel me? And that's one of the reasons I'm going to reiterate the reasons of why I interview people in the BDSM community on a swingers platform, because I want people to become educated, you know, get a little pieces of nuggets here and there as they dwell into the BDSM community, because you don't want to like go in a community and you don't know anything. Not to say that you're going to know everything, but at least get a gist of what the hell is going on. So when you do speak, you won't sound like an asshole. You feel me? So that's why I bring people in the BDSM community onto my platform. But at the same time, you know, those blurred lines, it causes confusion. You feel me? It causes confusion because, you know, you have people or you have group owners and party promoters. You feel me? Social media group owners, they may throw like hotel takeovers and hotel parties, and they may have like a dungeon for people in the BDSM community to host exhibitions. And it's like, it can bring forth a confusion. What do you mean by that now, son? It's like integrating BDSM into a swing environment or even a fuck environment. It may bring forth confusion because it's bad enough that people think that you know, having a kink or a fetish means that you're a swinger. Having a kink or a fetish doesn't automatically make you a swinger. Anybody can have a kink. Anybody can have a fetish. You feel me? Swinging involves sexual pleasure. You understand me? And when you mix BDSM with swinging, you get like a conundrum of fuckery. You have a conundrum or a mixture of people who are dibbling and dabbling in lifestyles to where when people go to a BDSM event, they're thinking that somebody's going to have sex. You feel me? Or when somebody who are interested in BDSM, they go to a swing event and they thinking that, you know, it's just about a kink or fetish. You understand me? And you have like an amalgamation of people going to these events. First of all, it's bad enough that you're mixing different personalities into one session. It's like, let's take the swing community for an example. You have people who have a different dynamic. You have people who have a different freak level. You have people who are on a different wavelength. And just because somebody in a particular community, that doesn't mean that they're going to mesh well with others. You know, everybody is not going to mix and mingle just because they share a common interest. You feel me? Everybody's not going to mix and mingle. Everybody's not going to rock with each other just because they're in the same subculture. You feel me? You still got to vibe with somebody on a mental level to a degree, even if it's just about fucking. You have to be on the same wavelength. And that's why when you mix lifestyle, subcultures, and even personalities, you're going to have a lot of confusion and lack of harmony. You understand me? So sometimes segregation is good. Yeah, sometimes segregation is good because when you make something all inclusive, it devalues the scene or the product. You feel me? When something that's all inclusive, with the exception of vacation packages, it doesn't feel special because you just allowing any and everybody into your circle. You understand me? And it's like when you mix swinging with BDSM, not only you kind of create a confusion under an umbrella, because a lot of swingers, they don't want to be associated with BDSM, and a lot of people in the BDSM community, they don't want to be associated with swinging. And a lot of swingers rather, they're kind of annoyed when they're annoyed about the umbrella under the word lifestyle, because it's really the swing lifestyle. The lifestyle is swinging. The reason why people say lifestyle is because they want to be discreet when they talk to family and friends and associates. They just don't want to outwardly say, I'm a swinger. They just say, well, I'm in a lifestyle. You know, I got a lifestyle where I go to parties and I speak with like-minded people. It's telling people your business without lying, so to speak. So a lot of swingers, they feel a way when people put, BDSM under the lifestyle umbrella, or kinkster, or, cosplay, or fetish, or even LGBTQ. You feel me? Or it's anything that doesn't have to do with swinging. You understand me? Yeah, you may have people who are swingers and they have fetishes. They may have kink. They may be gay. They may be lesbian. But at the end of the day, you're a swinger first. You feel me? You identify as a swinger. Just like how in BDSM, you have BDSM poly. You have people who are into the BDSM community and they polyamorous. Or you have people who are into the BDSM community and they integrate sex into their exhibition. Or they may call it, what they call that shit? A happy ending. Yes, they may have like flogging play, wax play, knife play, electroshock play. And then they may have a happy ending where the dom may fuck their subject. You feel me? So it's like once you mix the sexual element into BDSM, it kind of become expected that, okay, after the session, we're going to have sex. Or after the session, we're going to fuck. Or you may have dudes or even women. You may have men and women who are into BDSM, who are in the BDSM community. They're using their title as a dom to get more dick or to get more pussy. You feel me? They may use that title to get sexual gratification, when BDSM, to my knowledge, is not about sexual gratification. It's not about having sex. You feel me? It's more so sexual arousal. It's sex without penetration. That's what BDSM is about. But when you have a mixture of personalities, of groups and subcultures, it's like, damn, is this a fuck party? Is this a swing party? Is this a BDSM party? Yeah, you have an option, but at the end of the day, it fucks up the energy, because I may go to a party and I may find a woman attractive and I'm looking to get my nut off, but she's giving off an energy that, okay, I'm here for BDSM, for the BDSM exhibitions, but I'm not here to have sex. I'm not here to fuck. And that's cool. That's her prerogative, but it throws off the energy, because when you're in an environment that's not necessarily your cup of Henny, that's going to show. That's going to show in your demeanor, and that's going to show in your attitude. So even if you go to a swing event or a fuck party just for the BDSM exhibition, after the BDSM exhibition, then what? Because the whole night is not about BDSM. You feel me? So as a man or even a woman, you're going to feel a way. It's like subconsciously, you're going to say to yourself, yo, I'm here for BDSM, but the other shit, the swinging or the fucking is not my thing. It's not my bag. It's not my cup of Hennessy. You feel me? And then it just throws off the energy, because now you're bored, and now you may want to mix and mingle with people who are in the BDSM community. And then it's like, well, that's the minority in a group. That's the minority at the party. So what I'm going to do later on, when everybody just want to have sex, when everybody just want to fuck, and then even when you have people who are in the BDSM community, conjugate at swing parties, it looks like a clique. It's like you have the people who want to fuck on this corner. You have people who want to voyeur on that corner. You have people who just want to network on this corner. And you have people who are into BDSM on this corner. You feel me? And you may have people who have no business in either community in the middle, and they just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So it's like sometimes segregation is good, just to create harmony. Sometimes it is. Sometimes integration could be bad because you're mixing cultures that doesn't need to be mixed. You cause a lot of dissension and sexual frustration and even intellectual frustration, because while you want to learn about kink and fetish and BDSM, you have a horny motherfucker to your right talking about they want to have sex, and then they're going to ask you what the fuck you're doing here if you don't want to fuck, because they thinking you're at a swing party or at a sex party or at a fuck party to get it in, to get your nut off, but really you're for the BDSM exhibition. You feel me? So even swingers, even people in a swing community, you may have people who just go to parties just to voyeur, and even that's an issue because people are like, well, why the fuck you here when you don't want to have sex? And that's where the group owner, the influence of the group owner comes into play, because like everything is just not to be mixed. You want to create a harmony amongst your clientele or amongst the people in the venue. So I'm going to touch on that later. I'm going to touch on how a lot of group owners, they shoot themselves in the foot when they just invite any and everybody at their parties without checking the temperature of the room, without reading the room, because everybody's not meant to conjugate amongst each other. Everybody's not meant to fuck with each other. Just because I'm in a swing community, that doesn't mean I'm going to be your friend right off the bat. You may be a piece of shit, or you may just not be my cup of Henny, or our energy may not mesh. You feel me? We may not be on the same wavelength. You could be a beautiful person with a beautiful soul, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to automatically be your friend or we're going to be cool just because we're in the same social circle. But I'm going to touch on that later. But anyway, I just want to talk about how the divorce between swinging and BDSM at these parties could be healthy, because when you go to a party, you should know what you're expecting. You should know what you're getting yourself into. When you have a mixture of subcultures and fetishes and kinks, it's like it's crazy to gauge how to set the tone. It's hard to set the tone. Like if I go to a rap concert, I don't want to hear country music. I may not even want to hear R&B. I don't want to hear house music. I don't want to hear trance. I don't want to hear soul. I want to hear that hardcore rap shit. And even rap. Just because I may go to a rap concert or a rap event or a hip hop event, there's a certain hip hop I want to listen to. I may not want to hear trap music. I may want to hear that old school boom bap shit in the 80s and the 90s. I may not want to listen to this new shit that I don't know half the shit that they're saying. You feel me? So it's about knowing your audience so you can set the tone, so you could create harmony amongst the people at the venue. If you don't create harmony amongst the people at the venue because you want to mix people in the same circle, then you're going to have a negative energy that's not warranted, and it's going to throw off the whole ecosystem of the event. It's like how I went to a BDSM event and people thought that my lady friend was a sub, because I was collared and she had on leather, but we were just there to voyeur. But because I looked the part and I played the part, you had some people who automatically thought that she was my dom, that she was my dominant, and I was a sub. You feel me? So I looked the part, I dressed the part, and I was at the theater. So people are going to automatically assume that you're into BDSM when I'm not. You understand me? But because I put myself in a vicinity for people to assume, or to have this idea that I'm in the BDSM community, I had to live with that, even though BDSM is not my cup of Henny. You feel me? So it's about knowing what you're going to get yourself involved with. And when you put yourself in an environment that's the total opposite of who you are, then you should not be surprised when people approach you and proposition you in an activity that's foreign. You just got to be mindful of that. You feel me? And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Some Baby. Check out my website at www.notsomeblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com, and check out my ebook, Fuck. Yes, you heard right. Fuck, F-U-C-K. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace.